Good morning. This morning we're going to learn about the properties of water. We're going to listen to a cool story that explains everything about water. Then I'm going to explain an experiment you can do at home. And at the end, we're going to answer some questions to see how much we've learned. Let's get started.
This book is called Simple Science of Water. This book is nonfiction, or we can also call it informational text. Everything in this book is true. The author, the person who wrote the book, is Emily James. The pictures in this book are not illustrations, meaning they're not drawn. They're pictures of actual things in the real world. Let's open the book to learn about water. Where do raindrops come from? Drip, drop, drip, drop. Raindrops are falling. Where do they come from? Think about it for a minute. These raindrops have floated in a cloud. They have traveled underground. They have flowed down a stream. These raindrops have been all around the world. When you were thinking about raindrops, did you think they'd been all around the world? That sounds so interesting. Let's find out how that's possible. The water cycle. Raindrops are made of water that has been used over and over again. They are part of the Earth's water cycle. Water changes as it moves through the water cycle. The water cycle has no beginning and no end. There are some really fancy words. We have evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. We're going to learn more about what these words mean as we read, but let's look at the picture and make some guesses. Evaporation shows a picture of the water and an arrow going up. What do you think evaporation might mean? Condensation shows a picture of an arrow going from the cloud to this cloud where it's raining. Precipitation shows the rain falling down. Those pictures are clues to what those words might mean. Heat from the sun warms up water. The water turns from a liquid into a gas. It evaporates. The water vapor rises into the air. Water vapor is all around you. It's a gas. You can't see it. A gas is something in the air that you can't see. Air is a gas. If you were to blow into a balloon, the balloon would be filled with a gas. As water vapor rises, it cools. Cooling causes the gas to turn back into a liquid. This process is called condensation. Condensation appears on a glass of cold water. It appears as dew on the morning grass. That's when the grass is wet in the morning, even if it hasn't rained. On a cold winter day, you can see it on the windows. Frost is frozen dew. The next time you have a glass of cold water sitting out, look at it. It will have condensation. I want you to try to use that big word the next time your glass is wet on the outside. Can you say that word? Condensation. Say it one more time. Condensation. The tiny drops of water vapor get bigger as they cool. You can see them as mist or fog. Condensation also forms clouds. Have you ever seen mist or fog in real life? When? Clouds are made of water droplets and bits of dust. As more water vapor cools, the clouds get heavy with water. Rain is on the way. When water falls from the clouds, it's called precipitation. Precipitation is when it rains. That's a fancy word. Can you say it? Precipitation. During warm weather, rain falls. During cold weather, water can fall as snow, sleet, or hail. Precipitation falls into rivers, lakes, and oceans. It seeps into the ground, which means it goes into the ground. It turns into ice on mountains. What is water used for? Water is used for lots of things. You can use it to wash your hands and clothes. You can swim in it. You can drink it. Firefighters use water to put out fires. Farmers use it to grow crops such as tomatoes or lettuce or apples. Cooks and bakers use water to make food. Remember in school when we used to bake cupcakes? We needed to add water. Animals and plants need water too. Fish swim in water. Deer drink water from lakes and streams. How do you use water at home? Think about it for a minute. Can you name 3 ways you use water at home? Flowers and trees need water to grow. Their roots suck water from the ground. Waste from factories, farms, and toilets can cause water problems. So can litter. It can make water unsafe. Cities clean their water. They make it safe for people to drink. But wild animals and plants don't have a way to clean their water. They need us to keep it clean. Do you see all this garbage? This is not good because it pollutes the water and makes it unsafe. Sharing water. Use only as much water as you need. Take shorter showers. Turn off the water when you brush your teeth. Plant flowers that don't need much water. We share water with everyone and everything in the world. We also share it with the future people, plants, and animals. We need to keep it clean. Because remember how we talked about the water cycle, how the water goes up when it evaporates and then it comes back down as precipitation? If we dirty the water here, it can go up in the clouds and rain the dirty water down somewhere else. We don't want that. Water can be found in nature as a liquid, a solid, and a gas. Try this experiment to see how it changes from another form to another. You will need wax paper and water. What you do is sprinkle a few drops of water on the piece of wax paper. You can scatter drops by shaking your wet finger on the wax paper. Place the wax paper in a freezer. After about 15 minutes, take out the paper. What has happened to the droplets? Now place the wax paper in the sunlight or under a bright light and see what happens. Keep watching as the liquid drops seem to disappear. Where does the water go? Have fun at home doing this activity. Let's review what we learned really quickly. Which picture shows evaporation? Can you point to it? That's right. The water going up to the sky from the lake does. Great job. Which picture shows condensation? Remember how we talked about it being something you could see right inside your house if you had a cold drink on a hot day. Which picture shows condensation? The can, that's right. Great job. Which picture shows precipitation? This should be an easy one. It's a fancy word, but we know what this one is. Which one? That's right, the rain cloud or the snow cloud. Great job. For the last question, which part of this picture shows evaporation? There are numbers next to different parts. Can you tell me the number that shows evaporation? That's right, number 2. The water coming up is evaporation. It forms the clouds during condensation, and for precipitation, it either comes down as rain or snow. Great work. I hope you had fun.